Greetings, Earthlings. I am still alive. So, it's been a few days since I posted my last, video, and a lot has happened. I am really, really tired, and I'm sure I look like it because my sleep schedule has been all kinds of screwed up from this. And I'm just totally out of whack. And so I'm still in recovery and healing. And I'm a little all over the place. So please bear with me and try and follow my most likely very scattered train of thought. I will try to keep this brief-ish. In part because I feel like I don't want to ramble on forever and ever about it. And also because it's almost time for my noon meds. And I'm starting to hurt again, so I would really like to take those. So, anyway, on Wednesday morning, really, really early, midnight, 1 o'clock, I woke up with this pain that I've been experiencing for, gosh, I think over a year now. Close to or over a year. And it was nothing that I hadn't felt before. It was really intense and uncomfortable and painful, obviously, but I was like, okay, you know what, I've got my routine, I'll try my heating pad, I'll do this and that, I'll try to get it to go away. And it wouldn't go away, and it just kept getting worse, and I was starting to feel really uncomfortable in my body and just out of it. I wasn't there mentally. I was just kind of I was not doing very well. And Zach had to open the store the following day, or he was scheduled to. And so I was like, I don't want to wake him up. I have a consult with a surgeon today. It'll be fine. And then by 4 a.m. I was like, no, I need to go to the hospital. So he called the hospital, who told us to hang up and dial 911. Got an ambulance here. They gave me some pain medication and noticed that I had an abnormally low heart rate, and my heart was doing some funny things on the monitor. So they took me into the Minneapolis hospital, the serious hospital. It's okay, great. So I'm wheeled into a little bay or whatever, while my husband is handling the kids and figuring out what we're going to do for the day, because, obviously plans have changed with me now being hospitalized, and depending on what the hospital says. So I'm wheeled into a bay in the emergency department, and they do a whole bunch of tests, including an ultrasound, blood work, the whole shebang. They find gallstones in my gallbladder and an obstruction, which I didn't learn that part until later. They found an obstruction, which was causing my pain, and so it's okay, the gallbladder needs to come out. So we're sitting there for, quite a few hours, because they were really busy and whatnot. And apparently my room was ready beforehand, but someone forgot to tell somebody, or there's a miscommunication. And so instead of wheeling me up to my room, eventually they just wheeled me down for pre-op, for surgery. So I did all the surgery things. I put on this purple gown. The purple was actually really pretty, not even gonna lie. So I put on the purple gown, and I don't really remember too much from there. They kind of I remember them putting a mask on my face, and then nothing. So I woke up in recovery. Everything went fine. The surgery's fine. My gallbladder's out. And I'm just kind of waking up from anesthesia. And apparently it took me a while. I'm still super out of it from all the meds that they had me on, because it was just a crazy amount. They took really good care of me though. So I'm very, very grateful to that hospital and the staff and the nurses especially. Oh, I met my favorite nurses. But anyway, and then they wheeled me up to my room. My heart rate had still been low, so they were well, we'd like to keep you overnight for observation. Okay, fine, whatever. I was worried that I wasn't gonna be able to sleep, or I was gonna have a really rough night, and I kept falling asleep, and then I would wake up and it'd be fine, because my nurse would come in and give me some pain meds, and she gave me some popsicles throughout the night to make sure that I could eat and everything, which is really sweet. And yeah, she took really good care of me. And we had some really, really wonderful chats while she's taking care of me. Whew, oh, that hurts. Okay, anyway, so they took good care of me overnight, and in the morning, a whole bunch of doctors came in to see me, nurses and everybody, and they sent me home with one of these weird portable heart monitor things. I always think it's like higher up than it is. And I can take this off like Wednesday, and I don't really expect to see anything, although my heart rate has been like weirdly low lately, but we'll find out about that later, I suppose, when I get my results back. But yeah, it kind of threw off my whole week because I had to go and get emergency surgery, and then I had to talk to my other surgeon who's doing my thing in June. And I was like, okay, well, are we going to be able to still do it? And she's like, well, yeah, I don't see why not. I wish you the best in recovery from this one, but you've got no problem here. Thanks for letting us know. So, oh my God, you guys. I just can't believe that really happened. Like the day on Tuesday, I had the ultrasound from my the ultrasound that my doctor had ordered, and the tech found gallstones, so we talked about it, and she's like, yeah, it's probably going to have to come out. So I scheduled a surgery consult for that Wednesday at like 2:30 p.m. And lo and behold, that was actually about the time that I was getting surgery to get the thing taken out, which recovery is crazy. Okay, I'm going to see if I can manage to show without showing too much. So if I can, I'll put it like here, and you can skip to here if you don't want to watch it, but like I'm going to put it right here. There we go. So that's my biggest and most painful one. There's another incision here, another in my belly button, and then another right here, right above the tattoo that I'm going to lose next month. And all of this is going to be cut away next month. And I'm still very swollen and obviously very bruised. But, oh, yeah, it's still very inflamed and painful. Although I haven't needed all of the meds with the frequency they have prescribed them for. I've been trying not to overdo it on that. So maybe that's... But I digress. So, whew. Gosh, that takes a lot out of you. I never realized just how much surgery is on your body. So that's kind of been a wild ride. And I think I have mixed feelings because obviously I'm supposed to go in for another procedure next month after we come back from Arkansas. And that one's like a major one where they're going to like cut me open. Whew. And now I'm a little nervous. So I think this is going to be a very interesting year, and I want to take you guys along for as much as you want to see. There is a video that I am also going to be making. I'm trying to think of like how to talk about this. So long story short, there's stuff that I'm not allowed to put on YouTube for like terms of service and like what's just allowed and what's not. And so I was thinking about starting a Patreon. Obviously I haven't announced it. I haven't even like sketched out the tiers yet, which I'm kind of thinking of just starting out as either pay what you can or like have one rate and you can go up if you want, but you don't have to. Like I said, this is in its infancy, but I feel like I can share more uncensored stuff on there. So like talk more in depth about symptoms and surgeries and how I'm feeling and all of that stuff and my recovery process, because obviously there's medications that I'm taking that I don't, with that one I want to be especially careful because I don't encourage like recreational pill popping. Oh God, it hurts. And I do really, at the same time, I do really appreciate being able to use these medications for a case like surgery. But that's like a whole other topic that I'm getting distracted by. So yeah, I know this video has been an absolute mess. Guys, this took a lot out of me. I'm tired. I was planning on doing some crafting this week and showing off the altar that I just built, which I'm still going to do an altar tour because I could sit and do some of that. But I want to show you guys what I've been doing with my magical and witchy space. And there's some spell work. There's some spells that I want to do for my surgery coming up, for my current healing process. Like I kind of intuitively, well, it might be kind of hard to. So I picked out one of the Witch's Calm cards the other day. And that's the one I picked. So it's been kind of like my mantra for the last couple of days, which has actually been really helpful. And then I used, shout out to the Witch Casket again, because that's where my little card and crystal holder came from. So I put the card in there, and then the crystals that I chose just kind of like intuitively were a clear, well, it's like a rose quartz point and a little chunk of rose quartz, which is honestly one of my favorite crystals, and a nice chunky piece of malachite. This is one of my favorite pieces that I've had, and I'm pretty sure I've had it for like a good few years now, and it's always a go-to. And I also, this bloodstone that I got, I think about 10 years ago now. I got when I was pregnant with my first baby. Editing me here, and there's a little bit more to that story that I remembered, and I don't think I really gave it justice. So I went to a shop when I was pregnant with my first baby, and I was like super pregnant, so I was like 3rd trimester. And I had been dabbling in witchcraft a little bit and really starting to hone in on my practice and just do all of the things that a little baby witch does. And so I had gotten some previous resources and materials from my ex-fiance's aunt when we were cleaning out her house, which is I could do like a whole story time on that experience. It was crazy. And I think it'd be really fun to kind of show you guys some of the stuff that I've had for years and years and like talk about where it came from, but I'm getting distracted again. Anyway, so I had started my practice and was like really diving into being a witch, and I've always been drawn to crystals. And I walked in, and there was this like little old lady who worked at my favorite store off of Broadway in Denver. And she had such a personality. Oh my gosh, I miss her. I miss that store dearly. Anyway, so she came up and she gave it to me, and she's like, this is for the baby, you know, it'll help with blood circulation. It's really good for pregnancy, and I want you to have it. It's, you know, it's calling to you. And so that was just a really cool moment. It's a story that I think I take for granted now, and I'm really glad I get to share it. So thanks for taking 2 minutes and listening to me talk about that. And I've been able to keep track of and hold on to it for 10 years. So been kind of using that as a way to meditate upon and visualize and all that good stuff with my healing. And leaning into my craft has been very wonderful. And I don't know, I'm going on another tangent again. I'm sorry. I know this video is going to be a whole mess. It's going to be everywhere. Also, while we're on random topics, I did paint my nails with my new Mooncat polish. I think I put, oh, come on, focus. Come on. There we go. Which is beautiful and will be linked down below. I think I made a short video about it and put it on this channel, and then I went into surgery that night, so I didn't really get the chance to talk about it. So there's a lot that we have to catch up on. Oh, I'm feeling better today. It's still, the pain's kind of bad, mostly at the incision sites and then like up top where my diaphragm is, but like there's a lot of numbness too. It's just really weird. It's crazy that I actually had emergency surgery. The doctors told my husband that if it had been like that it truly was an emergency, like that thing needed to come out, and if it hadn't, then they would have just scheduled me for a different day. So I'm glad it's over and done with. I'm glad I'm healing now. We have to be packing to get ready for Arkansas, which I will be doing a vlog on we've got a lot coming up in the next few weeks, so I'm gonna need all the love and support you can muster. And yeah, send all the healing vibes my way, and I will return the favor if and when you need them. I've been rambling on for far too long. I want to get this video edited and posted so I can talk to you guys and do some of the other videos that I've been planning, which also include now using my label maker and what I'm going to be using that for in my witchcraft and my magic, because like, look at how cute that turned out. There's that one, and then there's my little spray bottle, which I got at the dollar store, but I labeled that one too, and I actually used that one for the rose, or yeah, definitely rose quartz point. I sprayed that with a little full moon water to kind of do that. So yeah, I've talked for like nothing for way too long now. Thanks if you've stuck around this long. I appreciate you indulging me in allowing me to kind of like share some of my story, because that shit was crazy. I've never had an ambulance called for me like that, but like I was not, that was an intuitive moment. I knew at the beginning when I felt the pain, I was like, this feels different, this is different, you're gonna need to go in tonight. And then I kept denying it, which I always do with pain, especially, which would be great to talk about in my birth stories, but that's always what I do with pain and anything of the sort where I'm gonna have to leave my location and go to another, like birth center, hospital, whatever. But anyway, and so once we got a few 3-4 hours in, I was like, okay, I need to wake up my husband, I need Zach, I need him. And now I don't have a gallbladder. So I'm gonna wrap this up for real this time. Thank you guys for listening and hanging out. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Mwah. Love you. Bye.